Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see you this evening. The big story yesterday, which we spoke about, we debated this in very great detail yesterday, was Agni 5, the launch of the intercontinental ballistic missile successfully under China's nervous watch, which has the incredible MIRV technology, the ability to shoot multiple warheads at the same time. Now today, the most visual story of the day, we've been talking about it on the channel since this morning, has been Bharat Shakti. Bharat Shakti is a tri-services integrated exercise which the Prime Minister witnessed today on the borders near Jaisalmer, specifically near Pokhran. It was incredible, viewers. If you consider the technology on display, from robotic mules to the LCA to the mobile anti-drone systems, the Nag missile, and of course the Pinaka. The thrust in the entire Bharat Shakti exercise was on indigenization. Viewers, I'm using the opportunity of Bharat Shakti and not just taking off from where the Prime Minister said, by having my first debate on a subject which I think is critical when you go to exercise your franchise every year. As you go to vote, ask yourself, do you want the next government in India to give you a more secure country, a country that rivals, equals, and goes beyond the security needed for ensuring its borders? Do you want our defense preparedness to be extremely strong? Do you want us to have a strong counterweight to any challenge that China may bring to us, not just to us, but to our future generations? Ask yourself this question and come to a conclusion. Just by way of starting the debate, and I want to go to some full-frame pictures of Bharat Shakti, I want to begin by making a few fundamental points, which I hope that all of us watching the program will think about tonight. Viewers, I will bring this down to one basic and very elementary question. We are very clear today that we are not in a race to edge out Pakistan. That was the case more than 15 years back. Today, we are legitimately engaged in an edge to balance and edge out China. People tell me, why am I so bullish about the Narendra Modi government's defense policy? It is for this fundamental reason. Because I believe Modi's policy has been to watch China, equal China, rival China, and eventually to outstrip China. Viewers, people ask me if I have a problem with the defense situation in previous governments. I have nothing personal with any previous government. But I will not forget, and neither should you, and I want to speak to you looking at the camera on this. I must request all of you to never forget the lovey-dovey approach. The lovey-dovey approach that the Congolese had vis-a-vis the Chinese. I want you to never forget that after one of the most dangerous incursions in Depsang, 2013, ladies and gentlemen. Most shamefully, a man called Salman Khurshid. Mr. Khurshid, I'm ashamed of the position you took. You went, Mr. Khurshid, as an emissary of the Sonia Gandhi government to China. And instead of taking up the issue of the dangerous incursion by the Chinese, you said you love the Chinese. You shamelessly said that you would love to be living in Beijing. You further shamelessly said, Mr. Khurshid, on behalf of the Sonia Gandhi NAC-run Manmohan Singh government, that you refused to get into any quarrel with the Chinese, that you did not get into anything, and I have the quotation here before me. You said, I am not looking at doing a post-mortem of what happened in Depsang with the Chinese. You said, I will not apportion any blame on them. Why, Mr. Khurshid, and why did the Congress consider the Chinese beyond question, beyond blame? These are fundamental questions. Ladies and gentlemen, as you watch those pictures of India flexing its military might, remember how much things have changed in a decade. I'm not saying that you have to be a BJP supporter to remember, but you must look at these pictures and remember that there was once a man called A.K. Antony who stood in the floor of the Indian Parliament and said, on the 6th of September 2013 to be precise, and he said that, ladies and gentlemen, he said, it is the policy of our country to have undeveloped borders. I'd like to speak to you on this, viewers. Can you believe it, viewers? You watch these pictures today. And I want to speak directly, looking at the camera, to the younger audiences watching this program. If any of you who are watching the program are below the age of, say, 25 or around 25, then I presume that you would have been in secondary school when what I'm speaking about actually happened. So when you were in secondary school, dear youngsters, there was a man who unfortunately was Defense Minister of India, A.K. Antony, who stood up on the floor of the Parliament of India and who said that India has better infrastructure because Congress governments have decided to not develop the borders of the country. What can be more dangerous than that? These have been the admissions of the past. And therefore, it is very necessary that when you go to vote, whether you are young or not so young, you need to think of defense preparedness as the first subject, which is why I'm deliberately using Agni 5 and, of course, the Bharat Shakti display of strength today, and whatever may happen over the next few months as a startup debate on whether defense preparedness, the status of our geostrategic deterrence, the strength of our military might should be something to configure our votes on. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you with two fundamental debates tonight. My first debate is on defense, and I look forward to having a very solid debate on that. Very often we get involved in only political issues. This is the time to discuss defense. I think defense matters to all. My second debate on this very important evening is on the CAA. And I'm sick and tired of the kind of lies that the Al Jazeera has been putting out. The Al Jazeera should first talk about whether Qatar, the country that funds it, who feed it, and who give them money, whether Qatar allows citizenship for everybody, and whether Indians working in Qatar are even eligible for citizenship there. If not, they should be quiet about it. My counter to Al Jazeera is at 10 o'clock. And here are the headlines this Tuesday evening on the debate tonight. India's military might on display. The Prime Minister lauds the forces after the tri-service exercise Bharat Shakti in Pokhran. The Prime Minister hails Aatmanirbhar in defense, says military might in line with economic prowess. From Jammu to the national capital, mega celebrations across India as the Modi government rolls out the CAA rules. Opposition still in complete denial over it. Mamta fires a ludo jibe at the center. Owaisi says he will move the top court. Surprise move in Haryana. BJP shuffles the deck. Nayab Saini replaces Manohar Lal Khattar as the new Chief Minister of Haryana. And a day after the Supreme Court wrap, the SBI submits data on electoral bonds to the Election Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, India has sent a two-pronged message in the last 24 hours. After the sweeping success of Agni 5, the Prime Minister sent a very resounding message from Pokhran. His message is quite clear. When India's defense sector is Aatmanirbhar, the self-confidence in the armed forces will be guaranteed. This pragmatic and different approach is the need of the hour amidst concerns over national security. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's debate is on India's military prowess and what it means for the future of the country. Let's debate.
जब शत्रु पर आघात हो और अस्मिता की बात हो, हम चुप नहीं बैठेंगे, हम शत्रु संहारेंगे, हम घुस के मारेंगे, हम घुस के मारेंगे.
India witnessing a trinity of Aatmanirbharta, belief, self-pride.
The Bharat Shakti exercise has showcased the prowess of indigenous defense equipment of our tri-services.
तेजस मार्क 1 कुछ ही पलों में बाएं से आते हुए अपनी बमबारी से दुश्मन के टैंक कॉलम्स को ध्वस्त करेंगे.
ये आर्म्ड हेलीकॉप्टर हमारे मैकेनाइज्ड दस्तों के साथ एयर कैवलरी की तरह फायर सपोर्ट देता है और थर्ड डायमेंशन से दुश्मन के ऊपर भारी मात्रा में क्षति पहुंचा सकता है. वायुसेना के 2 लाइट कॉम्बैट हेलीकॉप्टर प्रचंड संकट सुसंगठित रूप से थल सेना और वायु सेना के इंटीग्रेशन का एक बेहतरीन उदाहरण देते हुए दुश्मन के मैकेनाइज्ड दस्तों को बर्बाद करेंगे।
अब आप पिनाका के विध्वंसकारी फायर को किसी भी क्षण दुश्मन के कमांड तथा कंट्रोल हेडक्वार्टर के बचे हुए दस्तों को नेस्तो नाबूद करते हुए देखेंगे। पिनाका शब्द पिनाक से लिया गया है। पिनाक भगवान शिव के धनुष का नाम है, जिसे उन्होंने ऋषि परशुराम को धर्म की रक्षा के लिए भेंट किया था ताकि राक्षसों का विनाश हो सके। K9 वज्र एक सेल्फ प्रोपेल सिस्टम है जो लड़ाई के दौरान किसी गन टोइंग व्हीकल यानी GTB के बिना टैंक और मैकेनाइज्ड फोर्सेस के साथ हरकत कर सकता है। इनडायरेक्ट फायरिंग रोल में 38 किलोमीटर, डायरेक्ट फायरिंग रोल में 1 किलोमीटर तक की दूरी के टारगेट को बर्बाद करने की क्षमता रखता है।
Prime Minister Modi in Pokhran reviewed the military exercise asserting Aatmanirbharta.
ये डिफेंस सेक्टर में आत्मनिर्भर भारत की एक और बड़ी उड़ान है। विकसित भारत की कल्पना आत्मनिर्भर भारत के बिना संभव ही नहीं है। भारत को विकसित होना है तो हमें दूसरों पर अपनी निर्भरता को कम करना ही होगा।
As he landed in Pokhran, the Prime Minister sent a resounding message to India's neighbors.
आने वाले वर्षों में जब हम दुनिया की तीसरी बड़ी आर्थिक ताकत बनेंगे तो भारत का सैन्य सामर्थ्य भी नई बुलंदी पर होगा और भारत को तीसरी बड़ी आर्थिक ताकत बनाने में राजस्थान की बहुत बड़ी भूमिका होने वाली है।
The Pokhran message, a day after the sweeping success of Agni 5. In 2 days, the two-pronged message has sent our neighbors reeling. Let's debate.
And ladies and gentlemen, on the debate this evening, I have with me Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Major Gaurav Arya, Consulting Editor, Strategic Affairs of our network, Major Samar Paltur, very well recognized and popular defense expert of the country, Kapil Madan, who has a pro-Congress position, as is Nikhil Jain, Vivek Srivastav, who's anti-BJP on all issues, and Ravinder Dhal of the Congress Party. So we are more than evenly placed. Now, what are the thoughts, Vivek, when you see the visuals of the Prime Minister at the Bharat Shakti event today, and yesterday when you saw Agni 5, the pictures of Agni 5, which threaten your favorite country, China, what are your thoughts? I just want to start with the contrary position and then I'll open the debate.
No, I mean, anything that the nation does, which is good and which is progressive needs to be appreciated. You had Agni, we appreciate it, but however, strategically, the government of India is wrong.
Yourself? I can't hear you.
We had a very strong defense partnership with the Russians at one time and a lot of technical exchange. We were very clear about the priorities.
Aditya,
today
I
we are
can't
not
hear
clear.
him.
Instead of partnering,
I think my audio track to me is not open. 1 second. Yeah, now I can hear you. Thank you. Yeah, go on.
Yes, absolutely. See, so I mean, we appreciate if Agni happens and the nation is moving ahead, we appreciate it. There is it's a progressive move. However, there are two things. They are strategically wrong.
Yeah, keep it open.
We had a very strategic partnership with the Russians at one time. We shared technologies, we shared defense strategies, and we knew what our priorities are. Today, they are all confused. Today, you have something called the Defense Acquisition Procedure, the DAP. You have something called the Make in India. You have a minor reservation for the Indian vendors in it. Most of it you are trying to outsource to foreign. Aatmanirbhar hai nahi sir hum. Okay, you have the defense corridors in 2 states, Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, right? And even in that, there are 108 companies which have signed a memorandum. Aatmanirbhar aap hai nahi. We are privatizing everything, giving it to private vendors, and most of them are international players. Okay, instead of having a strategic military tie-up with the Russians and the Chinese, who are our next door neighbors, we are more influenced with the United States of America. Our defense funding is still nothing compared to what the Americans have. It is probably somewhere around 886 billion US dollars. The Chinese, it's about 1/4 of it. We are much smaller. And defense doesn't mean only fighting and increasing your prowess. Our aircrafts are not 5th generation. The Chinese have 5th generation aircrafts. Even the Rafales that we have bought right now are maximum 4.5 generation. So, I mean, it has to be two-pronged. Number one, the diplomatic tie-ups with strategic countries needs to change. Our priority should be stronger friendship with the Russians and the Chinese, not the Americans and the Europeans. And number two, we need to talk more. Defense doesn't mean only manufacturing more. We may have a very strong army, which we appreciate, but I do not think we are on the right track, and I do not think that we are Aatmanirbhar right now. We are very clear about it. Rhetoric and, going and impressing people. Yeah, Sanju, I mean, whatever it is, okay, it's fine. The Prime Minister is doing a lot of rhetoric. There is a lot of Bharat Mata ki Jai. There is a lot of it, hum ghus ke marenge. These words do not count. You had a very strong army at one time in this country. There was a war with Pakistan. You made another nation. You created it, Bangladesh. We have been strong always. There was a Kargil. So, as far as the defense personnel are concerned, the Indian army is concerned, we respect them.
Vivek, thank you for
No,
opening
it's not
remarks.
a monologue. I'm just telling you where we are wrong.
Thank you for your opening
just a
remarks.
Full of rhetorics.
I think you have to be completely out of your mind to suggest a defense partnership with China, which only you can do.
Okay.
Sanju is responding for the other side of the debate before I come in. Sanju.
Thank you. Arnab, you are the only person and yours is the only channel. Even yesterday, you had a full-fledged discussion on India's Agni 5, the first indigenously tested missile, which had such a successful launch under Project Divyastra. And I will just read out in 5 seconds what the Prime Minister said. He said in his address on the occasion, the roar of aircraft mid-air and valor displayed on ground during Bharat Shakti exercise is the call of new India. Naye Bharat ka aavahan hai. Recalling what happened also in 1998 May when Atal Bihari Vajpayee was there and we had the Pokhran nuclear test. और अभी इतने सालों के बाद March 2024 में, thanks to the leadership of Narendra Modi, you had the Bharat Shakti exercise. And if you are sitting here and not appreciating the efforts of DRDO, which has played a critical role, if you are not appreciating what Project Divyastra is all about,
No, I respect DRDO. I don't appreciate private.
I did not heckle you. I listened to your long monologue. Vivek, please.
Defense.
If you are not, Arnab, this is unfair. Please, continue with this debate. I refuse to heckle with this guy every day.
I'm with DRDO.
ठीक है भाई साहब, आप बोल लीजिए, चलिए.
No, I'm not.
No, I think Vivek, I opened with you, then you show the decency to. No, I opened with you. Don't speak over her, please. This is going to be a really solid debate. I have some very good panelists. Please don't do that. Yeah.
5 seconds.
Thank you.
Okay.
No, you've had your time. Now keep quiet and listen. सिर्फ बोलना नहीं है, सुनना भी है डिबेट पर. अभी सुनने की बारी है, चुप हो जाओ. और ना, I have to say this.
Private
if you cannot appreciate,
आप defense में ला रहे हैं, I don't appreciate it. You are selling the country.
अरे रुक जाओ ना, ठीक है. Don't keep repeating yourself. No, 1 minute. Just one minute.
Okay.
Sanju, I'm holding this for a minute.
Okay.
Vivek, don't speak a word. Why? Because you're speaking in front of me.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
Because I know much more than you. What do I know more than you? That till 2001, you did not open up the private sector for defense. B, you also did not empower public sector organizations for defense.
We still don't want to.
C, yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to do anything that is good for the country. 70% we were based on defense.
You
don't want to.
Private sector
You don't want to. You want this country, yeah, you don't want to.
You should
this
have
country was 70% dependent on imports.
We don't want to be agents of the
Modi has
American
said that by
companies.
2027,
Indian
we will
army
be
should not be
30%
dependent on the
imports.
Americans.
So keep quiet and let Sanju continue, please.
Thank you.
You're a master heckler and a bad one at that.
Arnab, you have a great, grasp on these issues pertaining to national security, but I have done some homework and your audience needs to know. I'm addressing your audience. Prior to 2014, our defense exports were almost zero. Even as recently as FY18, it was about 4,500 crore. Today, our indigenous defense production is over 1.5 lakh crore and our exports are 16,000 crore. That is point number one. Point number two, for the first time at the Kumar post in the Siachen Glacier, you had two women who are manning that post, Captain Shiva Chauhan and Captain Geetika Kaul. For the first time, you had a permanent commission dedicated to women in the armed forces. For the first time in 2018-19, you had Agni Chaturvedi, a woman flying a fighter aircraft called MiG Bison. And then she later flew Sukhoi 30 MKI. For the first time, you had the DSDBA road called the Dadbuk Shahid Daulat Beg Oldie Road, which started under the leadership of Atal Bihar Vajpayee in 2000. The Congress was in power for 10 years from 2004 to 14. The first thing they did after coming to power in 2004 was they stopped work on the DSDBA road. DSDBA road ko kisne pura kiya? Narendra Modi. And let me tell you one more very interesting fact. And that fact is this. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, HAL, was on the verge of penury. And today, every quarter, HAL has revenues of 25 to 30,000
we had a good start.
crore, and HAL is making Asia's biggest chopper manufacturing facility at Tumkuru in Karnataka. The other point, आप यहाँ बैठकर चाइना के बारे में बात करते हो, पाकिस्तान के बारे में बात करते हो, 10 seconds. Pakistan's entire economy is $393 billion. Our economy is $3.93 billion. 10 times bigger than Pakistan.
Okay, now I want to come to a very sensitive point, and Kapil and Nikhil are there. And though Gaurav and Samarpal, both having served in the army, are not politicians, they will understand where I am coming from. You see, Kapil, Nikhil, the Congress has had a secret arrangement with the Chinese, which still, unfortunately, Sonia Gandhi has not.
No, that is absolutely
Sonia Gandhi has not.
You can't keep on making
Let me complete.
Again and again.
I will. Nikhil, after I finish, you can say what I want.
बिरयानी खाने चले जाते हैं कराची में यार.
Okay, Nikhil, see, Nikhil, see, I have a right to have my view. I have a right. Let me. Why are you on the defensive? Why are you on the defensive? I'm saying something. Why are you on the defensive? Did I ask you to react to what I'm saying? You hear what I say? No, you hear what I say. I'm not saying biryani chop, saying nothing. See, the problem is, Gaurav, I have not even started saying. They know which direction I'm going to go because the viewer knows which direction I'm going to go because I'm going to go in that direction. I'm going to hammer you on this for the rest of my life now. Now listen to me. Now listen to me. Yes, when Modi ji went as Chief Minister of Gujarat to Beijing, he got 8 diamond traders back. The Chinese were afraid of Modi ji then. They're afraid of Modi ji now. Now let me tell you a few things. Now let me tell you a few things because I have an elephantine memory. I have an elephantine memory, please. Now listen to me. Question is, the Congress had an arrangement with the Chinese, my view, viewers.
Absolutely.
And this arrangement, let me just say my thing. You see, this arrangement meant that they have to give China the edge, which is why something very interesting happened. I want to play a video. I don't know, Aditi has it. Aditi, do you have that? I want to play a video, Gaurav. There is a video of A.K. Antony. He was so sad. One day in Parliament, he was beaten black and blue verbally that how did the Chinese enter such in Depsang? Then he stood up and he basically said the Congress has betrayed India by not developing the borders. Please, I want to play the clip. After that, we'll open the debate. Here's the clip. Please watch this, viewers.
What about the Galwan Valley clashes, Arnab? What about the incursions that's happening in Ladakh right now?
Audio.
Even India, as a policy on border, the best defense is not to develop the border. Undeveloped border is more safe than developed border. So many years there was no construction of roads, airfields, nothing in the border areas. By that time, China continued to develop their infrastructure in the border areas. So as a result, now they have gone ahead of us. Compared to us infrastructure-wise, capability-wise, in the border areas, they are ahead. Admit that. It's a part of history.
I want Gaurav to comment on that. Gaurav, you heard that? Shudders. Huh? While people like you were serving in the army, this is the conspiracy the Congress had to not develop the borders with China. Gaurav, what would you say?
Arnab, this has been known for a very long time, even before Mr. A.K. Antony said it on the floor of the parliament, that it was a deliberate policy and not just the line of actual control, the entire Northeast, Arnab. You'll be shocked. This is the reason why they did not develop the entire Northeast, which is so cut off from the rest of India. Now, of course, they're coming back into the mainstream.
Now China is building villages in Arunachal.
Sir, can you please allow me, sir, to speak? अच्छा नहीं लगता.
Allow him, yeah.
अच्छा नहीं लगता.
मुझे भी अच्छा नहीं लगता.
So, Arnab, essentially what is happening is that this, they started doing this, and this entire thing about pushing into Indian territory, the Chinese, I'll give you a small example. Summer would know what I'm talking about. In 1967, we had a skirmish with China, and there was a General Sagat Singh of the Indian Army. General Sagat Singh killed so many Chinese soldiers. He killed so many Chinese soldiers that the Chinese stepped back, and there was peace for decades on the border. There was nothing. When I was on the line of actual control, Arnab, I was serving on the LAC, we would wave to the Chinese soldiers, and it was very lovely and peaceful because the doors of General Sagat Singh were still working. That is what the Chinese need. I would also take a minute to comment on what Vivek said. You see,
Vivek Kolaka.
Vivek ji said that, India should partner with China. Of course not. You can't. Next, he'll say partner with Pakistan. You don't do that, right?
Yeah.
We are still buying weapons from Russia. You see, we bought the S-400 from Russia. We had the AK-203 plant in Amethi, but because of the Ukraine war, Russia could not supply weapons to us. And Russia said we cannot supply weapons, but yet Russia is willing to, talk about tanks, talk about aircraft. So there is nothing wrong in our relationship with Russia. It is just that, and he keeps on saying America. What have we bought from America? I have not understood. One GE engine, transfer of technology, 32 drones. Actually, the main purchase has been Rafale, 36 earlier and 26 for the naval version, which we are buying. We have not bought very much from the United States of America. This is just rumors that are being spread. We have not bought very much from the US. Yes, little bit we have bought, not very much. The maximum amount we still spend on Russia today. And second is France, then America and Israel come next. And last point I'm saying, you see, you keep on saying that, we have changed our diplomatic track and we have changed our strategic track and we are now with the Americans. We are not with the Americans. We are not with the Russians. We are with ourselves, and the Russians remain our great friends. There is no doubt about the Russians. The Russians helped us, Arnab, when we did not have anything.
That is...
So we, the Russians are great friends. India has not condemned Russia. And again, Vivek, ek minute here. Ek minute, please. This is not done. Let me have my say. And when the world had said that you will not buy oil from Russia, we were amongst the two top buyers of Russian oil. When Russia was heavily sanctioned, we bought it. We bought Russian oil. China and India both. We bought Russian oil. So how can Vivek say that you have this thing? And last point, Arnab, I would, with your permission, state, he is saying Aatmanirbhar. Kyun nahi Aatmanirbhar? Kyun nahi private companies? Why not private companies? DRDO is for research and development, sir. DRDO is not a manufacturing hub. Aapko shayad pata nahi hai. DRDO does manufacturing.
Or you can have PSUs. You can have PSUs.
Sir, मैं आपको एक बात बता रहा हूँ. ये आपकी बहुत बड़ी गलतफहमी है.
You can have public sector undertakings manufacturing your own technology.
एक minute, sir. Even your favorite China is going the private route. China is getting private companies to make weapons. America, you hate America, but let me not give you the example of America. Almost every country in the world is going that route. And
yes,
देखो sir, even your Russia. एक जमाने में रशिया था. Russia has become more capitalist. China has become more capitalist. What are you saying, sir? क्या बात कर रहे हो? There are billionaires.
Anyway, let me tell you a little story.
देखिए,
it's 9:31. It's story time.
गौरव, आपके दो
It's 9:31. It's story time. It's 9:31. It's story time now. Story time with me. Gaurav, I'll tell you a story. There was once this fellow. He was a good for nothing. He could achieve nothing here, pass no exam. He was sent off packing to America, sent off to some Ivy League university where he was shown to be incapable of any intellectual work. From there, he was sent off to some godforsaken college nobody knows about in Florida, from where he did some godforsaken course. Then this individual did something which nobody knows for about 10 to 15 years abroad. In 10 to 15 years abroad, nobody knows what he did. Nobody knows what he did. And then nobody knows what he did. And then he comes back. And then he comes back, and then he comes back to India, and then he comes back to India. See, it's hurting you. I know it's hurting you. Have I named any individual? Have I told you who this godforsaken individual is?
No,
have I told you who this Dodo is?
I have also
not told you I haven't.
I have also not named any individual. I have also not named any individual.
I have just said that there is such an individual.
I am talking also about an individual who
then you keep quiet. If I am defending an anonymous individual, I am saying that so happens.
So why are you talking about an anonymous individual?
The story goes that this individual then starts some company called behind the operations or backward operations or something like that. And the basic idea of this backward operations or behind operations or front operations is to do backward dealing. And this person has a vested interest in pushing this company and that company.
And the individual I am talking about flies in the corporate jets of a particular corporate client.
Have I mentioned any? Do you know any specifically intellectually challenged individual?
I just want to.
Why are you getting touchy?
Do you?
If the viewer understood, did I name someone? I am saying that I am of a view. I am of a view. I am of a view. Yeah, you be quiet. I am of a view. I am of a view that the only interest of the Congress party, at least I can say summer with full confidence, was doing big business deals, making India 80% dependent on imports because 25 to 30% would come to them. मैंने गलत क्या बोला है? नहीं तो was it not possible to develop an Akash missile?
नाम क्यों नहीं लिया? Arnab संजय भंडारी का नाम लीजिए.
To buy the 120.
I'll like to bring a few facts, Arnab. Arnab, firstly, I would request everybody. I would want to come in here. Now, I just want to tell everybody that I am a new generation veteran. I am a new generation veteran here. And I am really perturbed by the mindset and the attitude of Mr. Vivek and the panelists. Trust me for a second, I thought that you've invited some Pakistani panelist on the panel. But later on when I heard his name, Mr. Vivek, I was like, nahi, I think he is Indian. So I was right now taken aback. Now, just to put in a few facts, please don't take my comments personally, but this is actually what I suddenly felt.
No, absolutely.
Now, Mr. Vivek, now I just want to make few facts very clear to you that in 2012 it was Congress which stalled the anti-satellite missile launch system.
That is the problem.
You wanted to favor China. After that, there were multiple skirmishes which were taking place with China
good relations
at different
with all
locations.
Neighbors. That's a different issue.
But Congress turned a blind eye. Congress played it down by telling the army.
Sir, domestic defense industry, Indian government holds only 50% stake.
But you never equip India and the Indian army with effective weapons.
No, Indian domestic industry Indian government holds only 50% stake. Are we not ashamed of it?
One more thing.
50% you have given it to private dalals.
As far as, see, please recall the before corruption.
Two defense
It was Congress which initiated it. It was your former Prime Minister.
There are 108 memorandums.
Corruption began with you in the defense sector.
You call this development.
And today you are talking about joining hands with China.
Privatization.
Shame on you.
In defense.
You should not be breathing a single moment of air on India.
108 memorandums of understandings with private companies in two defense corridors.
With China.
Arnab, you please ask Vivek Srivastava to introduce himself as a China sympathizer. He's not a political analyst. Vivek Srivastava is a rabid Chinese sympathizer.
To make India Atmanirbhar, you yourself went to Saab for Bofors. You yourself went to the Bell Corporation where you were corrupt. You took money for the helicopter deals. So your own party is corrupt. You delayed the anti-satellite launch system. And one more thing, I have served in the army from 2010 to 2021. In 2014, the Indian Army got MP9,
the international
the
arms
snake
dealers
weapon.
Go over there
Then it was during BJP's tenure that we got the 6-4, 7.62 mm. It was during BJP's tenure where we got K9 Vajra. And it was during BJP's tenure where we got
generation aircraft in this country.
Where we got the Rafale.
You still don't have a fifth generation aircraft in this country.
For
Do you
no
know
reason
this?
with the MiG-21
Rafale is at best a fourth generation aircraft. Are you aware of it?
Corrupt. You never gave it a single thought for upgradation of the Air Force or the
9:37, I wish to share something. One minute. I'd like to bring in Kapil and Sanju. 1 minute. Kapil and Sanju right now.
You have not come up with your
Kapil and Sanju right now. Kapil, story time number 2, 9:37
No,
p.m.
you can go ahead and become an agent of the arms dealers.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Kapil Madan. Producers, please help me. Kapil, in May,
you're sounding like a Pakistani.
In May 2013.
Please be Indian.
In May 2013, can we bring him? I can't see. Yeah. In May 2013, after the major intrusion of the Chinese soldiers in eastern Ladakh, in Depsang to be precise, Foreign Minister Salman Khurshid went to China. And first of all, he should not have gone. He went. And when he was asked, what did you go to talk about? He said, I have expanded the relationship between the two countries. And then he was said, Kapil, which area of expansion? What are you going to do about Depsang? He said, Depsang is not important because I have just signed an agreement on wastewater management with the Chinese. He says, what else did you discuss with the Chinese? They said, besides wastewater management, I have also looked at ways in the joint statement on how India and China may cooperate on micro-irrigation. And then he wrapped it up by saying that Beijing is the best city in the world to live in and that he would love to live in Beijing. Now, you can take this statement as a joke or you can take it as a reality. The fact is that he was too afraid to question China over its incursion in Ladakh. You talk about incursions, there was a 19-kilometer incursion at that point of time, and you said at that point of time, we don't want to do any post-mortem, we don't want to apportion blame. We just went to listen to...
Can I respond to you?
Now, you want to respond? Otherwise I would have carried on. And I just want to wrap up by saying, he also said that we are trying to make the Chinese happy, and he was told, how will you make the Chinese happy? He said, the Chinese should come to India, roam around, and handpick any location in India to build a Chinese-centric, exclusive industrial park on Indian soil. So he went there to offer daffodils to the Chinese in return for Depsang.
So let me, since we're talking about the valor of the army, let me just, remind our...
No, do you want to respond to my narration of Salman Khurshid's invertebrate nature?
Cook, you will make any stories and everyone knows
I have not cooked a single story. I have not cooked a single story. These are facts.
And, we know that you are an excellent, fictitious storyteller, and, we actually love the way you narrate, in fact,
you're red in the face. You're embarrassed.
But you will never. No, Arnab, you will never tell your viewers that it was our honorable Prime Minister who, way back into September 2023 said, it's all happening due to weakness of our army. On record, on Twitter, when Mr. Narendra Modi was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, he called, I am sorry, he apologized.
Your Rahul Gandhi doubted the validity of surgical strikes.
I get your drift, Sanju. I get your drift. I know, Sanju, you are cornered. I know, Sanju, you are cornered. You don't have any substance.
Continue.
You don't have any substance, and that's the reason why you will jump in. You don't have any substance. 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 You don't have any material, and that's the reason why you just want to, overshadow the issue, this important issue, by just creating loud noises. And this is, creating only noises and not delivering is the hallmark. We all know your hallmark. We know hallmark of the BJP. It's all talk, no substance. All talk, no substance. All talk, no substance. But did Mr. Modi said this or not? No, did Mr. Modi said this or not? Can you say yes or no? Can you say yes or no? Can you say yes or no? I know you will talk about these useless things. I know you will talk about these useless things, but you will not answer the substance. You will not answer the substance. You will not answer the substance. You will talk about everything. You will talk everything under the sun, every useless thing which does not have any connection with the debate, and you will try to deviate your attention because you know for a fact. Mr. Modi made that statement, and you know for a fact that Mr. Modi never withdrew that statement. You know for a fact that Mr. Modi never apologized for that statement, and I am giving you an opportunity today. I am giving you an opportunity today, Sanju. I am giving you an opportunity today. I am giving you an opportunity today. Take this opportunity. Take this opportunity. Take this opportunity to apologize. Take this opportunity to apologize. This was only my beginning point. Now, Arnab, your viewers are getting how your viewers are getting. 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 Our viewers, Arnab, your viewers are intelligent. They're getting the drift. They know what is happening. They know how Sanju is trying to deviate. They know how Sanju is trying to conceal. They know how Sanju is trying to create this misleading impression. They know and they get how Sanju is on a back foot today. Your viewers are getting. Your viewers are getting. Your viewers are getting how Sanju Verma is rattled.
Anyway, I feel
Sanju is rattled today. How I
feel just 1 minute. Kapil.
I don't know.
Kapil.
Shouting.
Kapil. One minute.
No, will you allow me? Will you allow me to make?
First of all, I think 1 minute. I think it is preposterous. I think it is preposterous on your part.
No, I am sorry. No.
1 minute. Just one minute. Even though you are from a party that is essentially apparent. No. I know it is preposterous on your part, and I think Sanju and Gaurav, the first point being made is you are being like a Chinese agent when you come and say that the Prime Minister of India has called the Indian Army weak. This is unacceptable. I loudly protest against it.
No,
it is shameful that you have said it.
No,
I will not step back till you apologize on it. I demand that you apologize on it. You have to fact check it. This is Chinese propaganda on my program. I will not allow it, Gaurav. We must all substantially counter it. This will not be allowed here. You have no right to do that. No.
Quote the article. I can quote.
No, there is no article to quote. There is nothing to selectively quote. What you are doing is fakery of the highest order.
क्यों क्या फेकरी है? आर्टिकल है हिंदुस्तान.
And by the way, no.
You want me to give you the date also? You take the date. 8 अक्टूबर 2016 बजे ये आर्टिकल पब्लिश हुआ है. ये आर्टिकल है. ये
अक्षय चिन्ह के 38,000 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर चाइना को गिफ्ट समझकर दे दिए.
अब ये देखो, अब ये सारी बेकार के भाषण. They will not answer the substance. अच्छा Sanju, let Sanju say whether the article exists or not. No. Can Sanju deny this article? Can Sanju deny this? She's not denying the article. She's not on the show. She's not even denying the article. There is an article, Hindustan Times article.
आपने आर्टिकल नहीं पढ़ा?
आपने आर्टिकल पढ़ा कि नहीं पढ़ा? संजू, आपने आर्टिकल पढ़ा कि नहीं पढ़ा?
संजय भंडारी नहीं पढ़े.
They don't have any substance today. Arnab, they don't have any substance today. I made only the first point.
नेहरू in 1948
she's rattled.
आर्टिकल नहीं पढ़े. Shameful fellow.
मैंने तो सिर्फ एक पॉइंट बोला अर्नब, और मैंने और वो पॉइंट तो ये डिनाई भी नहीं कर रहे हैं, ये आर्टिकल तो ये डिनाई भी नहीं कर रहे हैं, ये भी नहीं बोलते कि नहीं आर्टिकल गलत है, ये भी नहीं बोलते कि नहीं मिस्टर मोदी का ये ट्वीट नहीं है जो आर्टिकल के अंदर लिखा हुआ है. I am sorry.
आर्टिकल
says so and the article says
का इंतजार करिए.
The article says so.
आपकी सोनिया गांधी की भी गिरफ्तारी का इंतजार करिए.
आप आर्टिकल के बारे में आप बताएं, आपको क्या कहना है? आप आर्टिकल के बारे में आपको बताएं क्या कहना है? आप बताएं.
MIRV. Agni missile was launched with the MIRV.
One minute.
के बारे में मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि मैं आपको
Okay. Gaurav and Samarpal Toor. One minute. Sanju and Gaurav and Samarpal Toor. This is a live example. This is a 1 minute, Sanju, please. 1 minute, Sanju, please. 1 minute, Sanju. 1 minute. 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 No. Sanju, can you give me a moment, please? Thank you. You see. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
दुनिया का सारा ज्ञान दुनिया लेके आप ही बैठे हैं. We respect your ज्ञान. We respect your entire universe ज्ञान with you, and that's the reason why आप राजा बाबू मैं हम नहीं हैं.
I don't understand. Sanju and Kapil, I'll have to reduce your fader for a minute. I will have to reduce your fader for a minute. Both of you for a moment. Viewers, 1 minute. Sanju and Kapil Madan. First of all, I think it is extremely shameful that fake Chinese propaganda is being put here. Gaurav, be quiet. Now I'm saying my piece. Now I'm speaking.
No, why should
I am going to give you a piece of my mind, nice and proper, and you will have to listen to me. Don't behave like a schoolboy who's been caught cheating. Now listen to me. Now Gaurav. To say that I want the volume adjusted, Aditi, because he's shrieking. out. Gaurav, this fellow is shrieking. He's so afraid. To say that the Prime Minister, 1 minute, to say that the Prime Minister of India, who has completely transformed Samarpal and Gaurav, our defense sector, who is making us a defense exporter. No, 1 minute. To say that Narendra Modi, under whose leadership we are exporting bulletproof jackets to 34 countries, including Israel, Brazil, Australia, Japan, under whose leadership 10 countries, including United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Indonesia, purchasing ammunition from us, under whose leadership we are exporting interceptor boats to Mauritius, Seychelles, Maldives, under whose leadership Philippines and even the United States of America, Australia and Indonesia are looking at Tejas, and under whose leadership DRDO has developed Akash missile air defense system and offered it to Vietnam, Philippines, and Egypt is also showing interest. To say that Prime Minister of India, who has transformed the defense landscape of this country, has attacked the Indian army, this is like a Hafiz Saeed nature of lie. Kapil Madan is inspired by Hafiz Saeed on my program. No, you can protest. You can protest. And the second point is, no. I don't believe in any clickbaitish headline. I've been too long in the media to know. No, you can't go. No. Forget Hindustan Times. I don't care. I don't believe in clickbaitish headlines. But I'll give Gaurav a chance to respond to this. But you will not.
Narendra Modi's official Twitter.
Gaurav, I see this.
Official Twitter.
It's an official Twitter.
This is the nervousness that they have.
Narendra Modi's official Twitter.
Gaurav, volume down, yeah. Don't get overexcited, guys. You are losing the election badly. Now, Gaurav. They will use 6 words of a clickbaitish headline to run down their own country. Gaurav.
Arnab, I just wanted to say, I don't know that phone the gentleman is showing, whether it's a Chinese phone or not, I don't know. But I just want to say that, Arnab, one very important aspect which could have escaped your notice is that we are also exporting BrahMos missiles to Philippines, and the target for BrahMos alone after 2025 is $5 billion per year. $5 billion per year, only BrahMos missiles, which are going to be exported after 2025, and the deal with Philippines is already signed. That's number one. Number two, Arnab, you see, there is a lot going on about these private companies, private companies. I'll tell you one story, and Samarpal will, bear me out. We have a rifle called the Insas in the army, right? And people say that Insas was used in Kargil. Kargil was won by the heart and soul of the Indian soldier, not by the Insas rifle. Indian फौजी के खून से जीता था कारगिल, उसके जिगर से, उसके कलेजे से जीता था. Insas, I have no respect for that rifle, by the way. Yes, Bofors is a fantastic weapon. There is no doubt. But Insas rifle, we were given that rifle and we have been beating our head against the wall. Ask Major Samar बैठे हैं यहाँ पे, वो बताएंगे. It's not a weapon that anybody should be using, you see. But today, what is happening is private companies are giving us drones. Private companies, new startups. And this is the way the technology will move. They are partnering with DRDO. DRDO is funding IIT Delhi. For the first time, DRDO is funding IIT Delhi and saying, okay, these many crores given. And this entire network of IITs partnering. And this is how Israel does it, Arnab. This is how Israel does it. A very close cooperation with the corporates. Haji?
All these IITs and the DRDO were set up by Prime Minister Nehru and the successive Congress governments, Major Gaurav.
Okay, viewers, I think I'm 3 minutes over. I've been told.
I just want to tell you. I think you're, sir. I think you're.
But I would.
Twitter account.
I think you're.
I would.
Nehru कहाँ से आ गया बीच में?
And viewers, at the end of the day, if you have any inputs to give me on the name of that person. That rootless wonder who I referred to somewhere in the middle of the program, ladies and gentlemen, do let me know. I thank you for the debate. When I'm back, why not just CA, but NRC is also important for the country. In a few minutes, back with debate 2.